Have you ever heard of the 3 no-fishing corpses that no one dares to touch for $100,000? The first one is the one that is planted in the water, the second one is kept in the water, and the most evil thing is that it is sunk 3 times. These are all taboos that the older generation of fishing poets often say. To say that there are too many details in this water, it is said that the drowned person is difficult to raise, and the experienced stone diggers in Yufu can change the posture of men and women at a glance. But what's going on here? If there is a knowledgeable brother in the comment area, you have to tell us. What I want to talk about today is a strange thing that happened to my grandfather when he was punting by the river. Our Kaishu village was a poor place in a mountain nest back then. The village was tightly surrounded by mountains, and it was difficult to find even a flat crop field. But the water in this mountain ditch was densely covered, and the villagers had to rely on ferries to get out. My grandfather has been on this river for half his life. He has been on the market for blind dates, and he has also been on the road to the village. It was in the autumn of 1993. That day, Grandpa's son Steele pressed the mountain to send the last boat of blind dates to the opposite bank. When the others were all scattered, he picked up the copper oil to restore the boat while the sky was still bright, to say that this day was also a coincidence. As soon as the boat was not smooth, a drizzle drifted in the sky. Although the rain was as thin as cow hair, the mountain road back to the village was designated to be slippery. Grandpa simply got into the wooden shed he built by the ferry, ate a few bites of the fish he had just caught, and fell asleep wrapped in the quilt. In the middle of the night, there was a sudden knock on the iron from the other side of the river, which was the signal that Grandpa was hanging at the opposite ferry. The iron manuscript was thinking that if anyone wanted to cross the river and knock on the iron manuscript a few times, Grandpa would definitely take a boat to pick it up. At this time, from a distance, he vaguely saw a woman standing on the opposite bank. But why would anyone want to cross the river at night? Grandpa didn't think much about it, thinking that this woman might be in a hurry so he couldn't just stand by. But when Grandpa put on his clothes and propped up the boat to the opposite bank, there was no one on the dock. He was wondering if the ferry couldn't wait to leave, and suddenly heard the stern of the boat move and hit the water. He looked back and saw that the boat was swaying around in the water, as if something had boarded the boat, but it stopped after a while. He felt a little confused but didn't know what was strange. After waiting for a few minutes, no one came. So he propped up the bamboo pole and rowed towards the other bank. But according to his experience, this inheritance is very heavy. It's not like he is the only one who wants to be replaced by others at this time. But Grandpa is a water rice eater and choked his neck and didn't look back. We people in the mountains know that there are 3 fires with pointed heads in the living. I heard that Uncle Ying will protect you if you play peace and joy in the bullet comment or comment area. As a result, if Yan turns back and blows out the foreign fire, it will be over. It's stiff, and a girl's voice suddenly floats from behind like a wind-blowing reed. Uncle Ye, don't panic. Please help me with a letter. I was robbed on my way back to my mother's house a few days ago, and I sank under Qinglong Beach. My family lives in the east end of the disaster village. My father's surname is Li, and there is a date tree with a crooked neck at the gate of the courtyard. After listening to this, my heart was sour. This girl is also a poor person, and she hurriedly paddled the boat to the place he said. As soon as I got to the water, I saw a figure floating in the water. Grandpa used a lot of force, and he slowly hooked the girl's body to the side of the boat with a bamboo pole. After about 15 minutes, the boat came ashore, and he gently placed the body next to the grass by the ferry, and specially found an old quilt to cover it, as a last bit of dignity for the girl. Girl, old man, I can only help you here, and I will report to your house tomorrow morning. Grandpa sighed and said. As soon as he finished speaking, a light thank you suddenly came from the reeds in the distance. The old man looked up and vaguely saw that the figure of Gichuan Huabu Mountain was slowly floating towards the mountain and disappeared into the night without taking a few steps. As soon as the next day dawned, Grandpa went from house to house to inquire. Later, the girl's family came to identify the body, and the police also broke it. It turned out that the girl was working as a helper in the city and came back to see her parents with wages.